What's up, Solutionaries? Welcome to the Maj to Ray show. We're going to get into it today. We got Snoop asking questions or answering questions he's asked about a movie. We got the cast of Higher Learning saying stupid shit about it, and we're going to go all the way through it. I posted something earlier today on Instagram, and I got called a homophobe, so I guess we'll continue this, but it's not homophobia. Anyway, guys, y'all know the routine. Come in, hit the like button, smash the like button, let me know where y'all from. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment live. If you are watching on YouTube, I want you to tell me where you're from, what city you're from. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching on X, repost it, comment, or jump over to YouTube if you want to comment. And you can support the work at givesendgo.com/solutionary. We need everybody's support to keep these types of open conversations going, as well as to make sure that we're supporting the work of our bread and butter, which is strengthening the Second Amendment community, strengthening that, especially in urban America, because it's getting crazy right now. I'm looking at President Donald Trump advocate for federal reaching into cities and violating people's Second Amendment rights. So safe to say we need more fight in the Second Amendment fight more than anything. So again, y'all, you tap in, hit the like button. I want to hear from y'all. This show is not about motherfuckers just being Hollywood. This show, if you're tapping into it, you are solutionary. You are solution-based. You are here. We are here to talk about pop culture issues, sports, entertainment, politics, whatever. Whatever we're talking about, we're not just talking about it to talk about it for talking's sake. We're here to talk about it, to turn it into a solution, to sharpen your talking points, to give you a better perspective, to improve your life, to improve your family's life, to improve our communities, improve our country. That's the whole purpose. Very, very important. What's up, Budget? Budget Gun Cinema says hello. You tapped in an hour early, Budget Gun Cinema. I appreciate that. Guido's from Connecticut. What part? Let me know. Big Rob says peace. Off topic, did you see Pat brought Dave interview? He talking about PBD, Patrick Bet David's interview with BB. I haven't watched the whole thing. I want to watch it. I've DM'd Patrick Bet David a few times. I'm probably this winter going to be down there at Valuetainment to do some interviews or something. I don't know. But I've been steering clear of the Israel Palestine conversation. I think everybody's bringing up excellent points on it. And I'm just not a person that, like, until my situation is straight, meaning I'm serving y'all better, we're hitting our goals and all of that, I haven't really had too much of a conversation around the whole Israel thing. There's so many people that's talking about that, and it needs to be talked about. But I think everything that I would have said about Israel, I touched a little bit of the conversation veered there a little bit yesterday. But everything that everybody's saying, I kind of like agree with. And there's people that's doing it, and I don't want to step in a lane, and they doing it, and I think it's important. I mean, nobody's at this point. If you're agreeing that bombing children is a good thing, then I don't know what the fuck to say to you, you know. So. But because of that, I haven't really dialed in on the BB conversation with PBD. I'm gonna check it out just to have the information in my mind, and if something jump out, then I'll jump out there. But anyway, guys, we're gonna talk about Snoop Dogg and Disney, and he was asked on a television show. Now, mind you, there's two things happening here in this little clip that I'm gonna show y'all, and I got some conversation around this and some other photos to show y'all about this whole Disney thing. Disney's stock has been in the shitter. Okay? And I want to be clear on how I explain tonight's conversation, because as every conversation that you're having on the Maj Toure show, it's going to be nuanced. So I want you to tap in, play it in the background. Don't just tap out in 2-3 minutes. Really listen to this, because this conversation is layered, because this is a reaction from the cast of the Higher Learning podcast with a question that Snoop was asked about something on a different podcast. So there's layers here. Again, if you're tapping in, hit the like button. Everybody in here, hit the like button. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Again, tell me where you're watching from. If you're watching from Rumble, if you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from X, hit the repost button, and that's that. But anyway, let's get into it. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. I want everybody to support the work. Let's watch this video, and we're going to do a real live reaction to it. And I took a few notes, but full disclosure as well. I know Van. Shouts to my guy Mo Fly. Mo Fly actually sent me this. This DM I got from Mo Fly, so make sure y'all give our brother Mo Fly a subscribe to his YouTube channel, as well as if you're trying to do media, if you want some interviews, reach out to Mo Fly Productions. That's who gets me a lot of my production, a lot of my shows and things like that. But reach out to him if you're serious. Okay, we're not wasting time. So he gave me this, and this actual video is I'm playing this right from his DM. But anyway, let's get into it. Full disclosure, I know Van. Full disclosure, I've done Van's podcast a bajillion years ago. Full disclosure, I've tried to do higher learning, but for some reason, based on what my understanding is, Rachel doesn't want to have me on the show. For whatever reason. But I consider Van a homie. I do think that Van could definitely do more for the work that's going on with BGM and things like that, but it's not his responsibility. I want to be clear on that. I have to be, you know how like when somebody pays you for paid promotion, if you're doing something on Instagram and it says paid promo, I have to be very transparent about the people that I have relationships with, the people that I don't have relationships with, and my responsibility is to be transparent to y'all. So I'm gonna be critical of some of this. I saw some of this. I didn't watch the whole thing. But I try to keep my reaction videos very organic so y'all can see it in real time what my reaction and thoughts are, or at least the vast majority of the content. I got to get some sort of backdrop of what we're talking about. But again, this is a breakdown of higher learnings, reaction to something that Snoop said when he was being interviewed by somebody else. I'll play through and I'll stop when I think some stupid shit happens. So y'all ride with me because I think for the first, I see maybe like 1 or 2 minutes of this. And within 1 or 2 minutes, Van say some stupid shit. I completely disagree with the fuck he's talking about. All right? So let's play it. Hey, real quick, y'all, too. Let me know if y'all can hear the actual volume. I want to be very clear. All right? Let's see what's going on.
Yes, recently, and talked about taking his grandkids to go see the Lightyear movie a couple years ago.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz, the Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Keke Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Keke's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Oh, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Okay, so a couple of...
Now, again, for those of y'all that's just tapping in, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Maj2Ray. Support the work, givesendgo.com/Solutionary. I'm going to get on y'all tonight because I'm trying to get everybody to pitch in $10, and y'all motherfuckers is acting like it's the end of the fucking world. Meanwhile, we clapping for Trump with a freestanding army in D.C. and possibly Chicago. So I'm gonna be a little more aggressive on y'all tonight. Support the work, givesendgo.com/Solutionary. Hey, Bookworm, if you can't throw it in the chat, then I'm going to put it on the screen. Now, that was Snoop giving his breakdown. Somebody asked him specifically, said, yo, what you think about the movie? And he told his experience of what happened. Now let's go into what the cast of Higher Learning says about this.
Things here. This is another example of why I told you that we should have gone out to see the Lightyear movie in droves, okay? Because this is what happened. The movie came in light, and then it was carte blanche for everybody to like criticize the movie or whatever. Oh, we'll go broke, whatever. Put that to the side.
Now I want to stop right there. Stop right there. What he just did was slick. I want y'all to be very clear. Van has produced documentaries in Hollywood. Van went from TMZ. Y'all know him from the guy that was saying such and such to Kanye. He went from TMZ to he was fired from TMZ, and now he has this podcast, and now he's produced a movie or executive produced a movie and stuff like that. So Van is definitely a so-called liberal, and I say so-called because classic liberals ain't what they packaging them in, right? And so I want y'all to understand that he just did something very slick there. He said, this is why I told y'all years ago to go watch the movie, because if it doesn't go out in droves, because if we don't support the movie, then people can critique the movie, blah, blah, blah. What he's saying is, if the movie does weak in the fucking box office, then if people start trashing the movie because it was weak in the box office, right? If it had a strong weekend or week or showing at the box office, even if it's bullshit, people go, well, a lot of people seem to like it. They went to go ba, 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 ba. So I want y'all to be clear on what he just did there, okay? I want y'all to be clear. Don't let nothing slip. He is in Hollywood. And again, that's my homie. I invited him to the first Solutionary Summit in Atlanta. He declined, but he did send a video. The video was funny. If you were there at the Solutionary Summit, you saw it, right? I could text him at any given time. So I want to be clear. There are no picks. If you say some shit and you're wrong, and if you're right of center, I'm going to call you out if you're my homie or not. If you're my homie and you say something left of center and you're wrong, I'm going to call you out. But I'm also going to show the play. Right there, he's saying, this is why I told everybody to go watch the movie. Because if a movie don't do no fucking numbers, then it don't matter. All right?
They're for the homies, for all of the homies, other older homies. I'm going to tell them two things. One, just so you know, it's your job to explain things to kids. That's your job. So if you don't want to explain things to children, then you should not be around children, because children are going to ask you to explain everything. They're going to ask you to explain oxygen, why the sky is blue, why this, why that. It's
funny that he's using scientific experiments to talk about this thing. Children are going to ask you questions about oxygen, about this, about that, right? First and foremost, I'm a little older. If my parents would have told me to shut the fuck up or be quiet, we're watching a movie and I spent a whole bunch of money to come to this nut-ass movie, then you shut the fuck up. So that's one mistake. So he's trying to curate this situation, how it looks like your job is supposed to explain things to children. Now, on one level, that's accurate. But a lot of times what happens is people in the propaganda and media world will mix truth with lies. Yes, you are supposed to explain things to children. Yes, when we're explaining what oxygen is, no doubt. We're explaining why the sky is blue because these are facts, right? These are facts proven in science. This is supposed to go this way. Maybe not necessarily same-sex marriages. So he's trying to set up the framework to make it seem like if you don't want to talk about this with children, like Snoop is like, I don't want to talk about this with this child. His grandchild, by the way. We'll go back into all of that. But he's trying to set the frame up where it's like, you're a bad person that if you don't want to explain things to children. But let's continue.
Kids. So because that's what they're going to do, it's actually your responsibility to develop the language in order to explain things to children. And straight black brothers, it's your job to explain sexual diversity and orientation to younger kids.
No, the fuck it's not. That is some fucking weirdo shit. I want to run that back. He said it is your job. And you notice he's isolated. It's always, and I get it, Van's pro-black, so I don't expect Van to group anybody that's white into this conversation. It's never really a holistic conversation to that extent, right? With a lot of people on the left. It's like, if you black, I could talk to you. If any other color, if you black and brown, then cool, blah, 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 right? But the design is going straight to black and brown men. It is your responsibility or your job to explain. Let me let him say it.
Job to explain sexual diversity and orientation to younger kids.
No, the fuck it's not. Y'all know why I got kicked off of X? Why I only got 50,000 followers on X right now when I had like 100 and something? Is because I said I would assault people if they were reading sexual things to children in libraries, like them drag, whatever. That's why I got initially kicked off Twitter and only got 50,000 followers now. But it's not your job to explain sexual-oriented things to young kids. Let's play it again. It's not me. This is what he said. Let's play it again.
To explain sexual diversity and orientation to younger kids.
To younger kids. No, the fuck it's not. First of all, our children are not kids. Kids are baby goats. I'm not pagan. My child is not a baby goat. It's not. At all. It's not our job. It's the parents' job to have a conversation. Not the grandparents, not the cousin. It is parents' job when it is time to have that conversation about sexual orientation with their children. Nobody else. It's not the school's responsibility. You motherfuckers keep outsourcing your responsibility. That's why we're struggling with the Second Amendment, because you motherfuckers keep outsourcing your responsibilities to everybody else. You outsourcing your security and conversation to the police, to the government. Trump will do it. You outsourcing a conversation. First of all, that was Snoop's grandchild going to watch a cartoon. It's A, not the time because we're in a movie theater. B, not Snoop's responsibility. C, the fact that it's in the movie, they're designed, and these are people that identify as Christian. In the Bible, God destroyed the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. Tell me where I'm wrong. See, but we don't want to maintain a standard. We want to outsource that too. We want to act like that's not a standard. That's why you got so many meat gobblers in the church. But I know y'all don't want to hear that though. No, it's not your responsibility, young black men. Don't talk to my children about anything sexual. Straight, gay, bisexual, lesbian, I don't give a fuck. Any of them letters. Don't talk to no shit sexual about anything of that to my children. Let's play a little bit more though. So that's the first or second. The first one wasn't a strike. He just tried to set up the framework. But that was 1,000% a strike. Tell me where I'm wrong and tell me if you disagree. Tell me, I want y'all to comment, and we're going to open up the lines a little bit later. I want y'all to tell me that you think that it's okay for men to have conversations, because he says straight black men, brothers, marketing that shit to us like they marketed the fucking jab, the vaccine to us in 2020, right? I want you to tell me something in the comment section if you think it's your job to talk about sexual orientation to young children that are not your children. Please jump in the comment section and identify yourself while I play a little bit more.
So rather than lament the fact that that's your job, learn how to do it. Very simple. Uncle Van, how can two women have a kid? Well, they either adopted the kid or one woman was inseminated and then they have the kid. The most important.
What age group is this okay for in y'all view? What age group is this cool with? For y'all, I want y'all to tell me. What age group?
Important thing is, younger brother, is that loving families come in all different types of ways. Well, why are two women together? Because it's very simple. Some boys like boys. Some girls like girls. Some girls like boys and girls. Some boys like boys and girls. And everyone, as long as they're safe and consenting, can do whatever they want, and they should get the same type of love and appreciation and acceptance from everybody.
Okay. Bookworm just said, not the age. Who's going to see that movie with their grandfather? That's one. Very few people are. Timer Shadow says, not my job. If my nephews ask me, I'm going to say, ask your mom and dad. Fucking traditional ass response. Ask your mom and dad. Guido says, don't agree. Gradual around age 13 and depending on maturity. Guido, you saying you want to talk to a 13-year-old that's not your child about sexual orientation? I asked a very specific question. I didn't, because I want to be clear before anybody answers halfway. I'm asking a specific question. At what age, and should you be talking to somebody, at what age should you be talking to someone else's child that is not your child about sexual orientation? Jason says, it's definitely not okay to talk to nobody else but your own children about sex or sexuality. That's the school I'm from. But see, the Hollywood agenda, the media agenda, will try to get you to say, you're wrong, you're shaming, you're this, you're that, if you don't talk to somebody else's child about sexual orientation. Okay? Vaughn says, I'm not talking to nobody's child about sexual shit. Big Rob says, depends on maturity and only with my children, just as with firearms. Boom. If somebody comes to me and says, or a child says, hey, teenager, oh, hey man, I want to learn about guns, Maj, what's up? Go talk to your dad. See if your dad cool with it. I'll hook you up. See if your dad is cool with it. I say dad, me personally. And if dad or mom ain't around, I say the opposite. If dad ain't around, then I say mom. If mom ain't around, I say dad first. Okay? So I want to be very clear. Listen what Quantel says. Van is tripping, but if we don't talk to them and explain it, then we leave our kids to be educated by Van. I'm saying you should talk to your children, not somebody else's children. Guido says, no, it was cut off. I meant to end with only with your own kid. Okay, cool. Right, super weapons. What happens to the birds and the bees? Let's listen to a little bit more of what Van say here.
You wouldn't want anybody getting on you for something that your body tells you to do, right? For who you are naturally. You don't want anybody making those determinations or like teasing you because you're black or because you're from Baton Rouge or because you talk a certain way or because you look a certain way. That's why it's bad to do that to other people, because we shape their lives in negative ways. So look at people and
Now they're trying to package this around a racial narrative. And again, I say all gun control is racist all the time. So I'm not mad at thinking something is race-based or not, right? I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at somebody calling something race or a system of race when it is. Redlining was a thing. It's a great book. I reference it all the time. The Color of Law. You can get it on my Amazon book list. I talk about all of these things. But everything ain't racist. But what starts to happen is now they try to use the race conversation. That's what he's doing. You wouldn't want anybody telling you talking points on how to talk to somebody else's child or a child or your grandchild or your cousin or whatever, right? First framing it as if you gotta have that conversation. I reject that assumption because it's fucking wrong. You actually should not be having that conversation with anybody's fucking child that's not your own child. What you do with your child, because children can't consent, I'm a libertarian. Children cannot consent. I don't give a fuck. So because of that, boom. You can't fucking talk to nobody else's child, and this person tried to set up the framework by saying it's your responsibility to talk to children about these things. No, the fuck it's not. That's one. Two, now they trying to frame it where here's the talking point. You can say, yo, just kind of like black, you wouldn't want nobody. So now you're putting something into some child's mind that may have not even thought about that. Oh, people are going to look at me bad because I'm black? For all I know, every motherfucking young white kid that saw any type of NWA, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, they saw them rappers as cool. They didn't see their skin and be like, ugh, they look different. So now he's trying to set it up and put into a chat for you to put it into a child's mind that you got an inferiority and people going to look at you differently because of the color of your skin. See, they inculcate that. I teach my babies and everybody around me, you are fucking great and awesome. I don't give a fuck about none of that nut ass shit. At all. You are great and awesome. Ain't none of my white homies gonna come around me feeling like I'm making them feel lesser than unless they just a weak motherfucker. But it's not gonna be based on fucking like the color of your skin, and that's the next step that they doing. This is a propaganda Edward Bernays masterclass right here, what he's doing. I don't know if he's playing 4D chess or he's unaware or he really believes this bullshit. But let's listen to some more.
Understand and accept that God created everybody in different, diverse ways. And that's the reason why we should love them. That's it. That's all you got to do. And when I say this, man, I'm telling you, that's all you got to do. The question I'm asking to all of y'all to make this same tired ass argument every.
Now here comes the ad hominem attack. Everybody that makes this tired ass argument now is to try to play the argument. Oh, it's old. That's crazy old school. Oh, you mean old school like our grandparents and great-grandparents that have fucking loving marriages and families and owned homes and still found a way and was way more unified? And that's across all racial backgrounds. But I'll isolate it to black for this conversation right here. Right? So you mean like a grandmom that kept a husband that had a bajillion children and have family reunions and the aunties and the uncles and everybody show up to granddad and grandmom house for fucking Christmas and whatever. Oh, you mean that? They trying to package it like that age and that wisdom and that those things shouldn't be conserved. Now it's the ad hominem attack. This is what they do. When I say, nah, I'm just not into transgender things, you can do that as an adult. You want to. Oh, you homophobic. Oh, you such and such. Ba, 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 ba. Yada, 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 yada. No, that's the next play. Yo, listen, y'all tap into the show for me to give y'all information and talking points and see they bullshit. I've done enough media for 10 lifetimes. That's why they scared to have me on as much now. And I get it. I can get to talk to y'all. I fuck with y'all. Right? Van had me on the Red Pill podcast. Google it. Maj Toure, Van Lathan, Red Pill podcast. That was years ago. He got this show, because that was through TMZ. He don't have that show no more. He not on TMZ. He got this show. I tried to get on this. He like, no, oh no, Lindsay ain't want to have you on. As if he don't got to say. But that's cool. They don't owe me nothing. But the reason why is because they can't run circles around me. Van tried it a few times. Van tried it a few times in that Red Pill podcast on the gun shit. Okay? But I want y'all to be very fucking clear. Very clear. There's a reason why motherfuckers are scared to have me on. Because I destroy their arguments. And my job is to make more solid communicating solutionaries. So when you tap into my show, my job is to make sure I can show y'all how they try to do certain shit. It's very crafty. Let's listen some more.
Time you have to answer a question from a child about this is, do you want to do it? That's why it's up to us to develop the language to explain our situations and contextualize them before we give it back to the younger generation. Because if we're not dealing with our shit, how can we answer their questions? So in all of this time and all of this stuff, like, work on it, do it. But coming back and being like, I don't want to have to, if you don't want to have to do it, then don't take the kid. The kid gonna have questions.
Now, he's saying, don't take the kid to the movie. This started from Snoop Dogg saying he went to the movies a few years ago to take his grandson, right? And this is also low-key a character assassination, or an attempt at a character assassination and all of that, right? So first, before I make this next point, which is, the shit shouldn't be, actually, I'll go this way first. The shit shouldn't be in the movie in the first place. See, they try to line you up to not have the argument from the right perspective. The reality is, this shit shouldn't even be in the movie. And I want to be very clear. This movie was the first movie where Disney had their first on-screen kiss between the same-sex couple. And they didn't promote it as such in the actual breakdown of the movie. Because more than likely, Snoop probably wouldn't have took his grandkids to that movie. Okay? So that's a little bit of backstory for this. But this shit shouldn't be in the movie. We go to a movie to get a family movie to not have conversations about sex. The Cosby Show. And Bill Cosby was America's dad at the time. Okay? Bill Cosby was America's dad at the time. Tell me when y'all saw Claire Huxtable and Heathcliff Huxtable kissing and tonguing and doing any of that. You didn't. You saw him being a loving husband. You saw her being a loving and supportive wife. You saw gender roles. You saw intelligence. You saw a father. You saw a family. You saw a unit. You saw respect for culture. You saw conservative. You saw all of these different types of people. There was no you knew that family was black. They had understanding of history and all. It wasn't overtly race. You saw excellence. You saw excellence. You didn't see isolation. You saw Asian people. You saw Spanish people. She was a lawyer. She still did the home thing. The dad took care. You saw that. You didn't see even a straight relationship. You saw them put on pajamas and go to bed together. You saw them, they might have canoodled, or he might have rubbed her shoes or her feet on the couch in plain view. Nothing overtly sexual, something loving and emotional. So this shouldn't have even been in the movie in the motherfucking first place. See, they want to argue these points. But again, they on the left. Disney's on the left. We're going to get into Disney in a little bit. But what I'm saying here is they framing your mind up to argue this from the perspective of, if you don't want to talk about things, then don't take the children to the movies. Not, maybe this subject matter should not be in a children's movie. and it shouldn't be. Don't talk to or promote anything sexual, straight, heterosexual, lesbian, homosexual, don't care. Don't promote it in the movie. Don't talk about it to my fucking children. And this weird obsession with needing to talk to children about sexual things is fucking weird. It's weird. So he's wrong, maybe because of his ignorance, or maybe he down with the agenda. But it shouldn't be in the movie. Not, don't take your kids to the movies. That's like me saying, you shouldn't go to a theme park because there might be a mass shooter there. And then maybe I operate that way. But if I take my family to Six Flags, to Six Flags, I might not get on the rides. I make sure they have a great time. I got my head on the swivel. I'm holding the bags. I got the strap. I got the first aid kit. We all broke down how we gonna get out if there's an emergency. I'm gonna be that protector. I might not get on the ride. Same as if I go to the bar with the homies. Maybe I'm the designated shooter. Maybe I'm the designated driver. I don't drink this time. Okay? But that's me taking on that role. But if they go, you shouldn't go because you're going to have to. No. There's certain things that are not supposed to be at a children's movie or a theme park. You understand? Let's listen
about everything. It's your job to answer the questions for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you one thing, if that situation was different, if that kid came up and asked Snoop, yo, Uncle Snoop, Granddad Snoop, whatever, how do I talk to girls? I bet you got an answer for that question.
Sure.
Yo, Uncle Snoop, how do I get money? How do I rap? I bet you got an answer for that question. Because
yeah, I have an answer for how do I get money and how do I rap, because the rap needs to be appropriate, and still ask your dad. Ask your dad. Ask your dad if it's cool, which is what most fucking parents would say. Let's not act like that's not the case. Most parents are going to say, ask your dad. See if it's cool with your folks. So Snoop is a granddad. So it got to be clean. It got to be cool. He's grown now. He's not 19-year-old doggy style Snoop. Okay? But yeah, okay, you want to put together a little rap group? See if it's cool with your folks. And it got to be clean and it got to be appropriate. I would imagine that's what Snoop would say at this point. Right? You want to teach him how to get money? Well, you're equating the conversation about sexual orientation with children that's going to go watch a Disney Pixar movie, 8, 9, 10 years old, with putting something in their mind to shape their legacy and financial future. Snoop, if a child comes to you and says, can you teach me, Uncle Snoop, on how to get money? Ask your parents if it's okay. And he's supposed to. Equating that, again, they do this thing where they frame shit all the way wrong, and you trying to fight from the angle. It's not even a right angle. Why are you equating improvement and creativity with sexual orientation conversations with children? That's wrong. That's wrong. Hey, if you're watching on the show, make sure you hit the like button. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary. If you're watching on X, repost. I don't know why I got to tell you this every single time. Hit the repost button. I can see who reposts. If you repost, everybody that repost, I'm going to shoot you a DM. I'm going to give you 10% off at a dot shop. Support the fucking work, y'all. Share the show. Okay? But they doing that this way to try to get you to line up this way. One don't go with the other. A conversation about sexual orientation with children that's not your children is not a conversation that you should be having. It shouldn't even be something that's introduced in the fucking movie in the first place. And then Van trying to tap in and be like, oh, well, if he asked them about getting money or rapping, and first he said girls. The conversation about girls, I'm assuming Snoop would be like, talk to your dad. 9, 10 years old? You're conflating shit that don't go. And again, my position is you shouldn't even be having a conversation about any type of birds and the bees shit with somebody else's child, especially at 9, 10 years old. We are rushing to over-sexualize or over-introduce or rob the innocence of these babies too fucking early. I wish I would have waited until I was in my 20s to have sex. I wish I would have I moved out of I dropped out of high school when I was 16. I've lived on my own since I was 15. I wish I could have took the ages of 15 to the ages of 23 and just stayed at home and been sheltered. And I mean sheltered in the sense of under the roof of parents and keeping certain things away from my mind. We have to protect our children's innocence. And what Van is talking about right now is some leftist bullshit that has nothing to do with defending our children's innocence at all. But maybe I'm wrong. Tell me in the comment sections. Let's play a little bit more and see if he get it right somewhere.
Because you've thought about it. You've considered it. And you've made a value system about what a young man should learn. Do you think it's even important that a young man learns how to be a good member of his community for the people in his community that are marginalized or persecuted? Is that even a...
Get the fuck out of here. Here we go. Here we go. Now the black community is marginalized with the trend. This is always the mix. My gay homies that I have, don't group me in that weird LGBTQ plus shit. I've got gay homies that say that shit all day, every day. Don't put me in a part of that weirdo shit. Now here he come. Oh, marginalized community. Marginalized. You got to. No, that's not my fight. My gay homies fought for respect, not to get beat up, because back in the 80s and 90s, they was doing gay bashing. Okay? They fought for equal rights. Don't bash me because of my sexual preferences. They not out there like just walking down. That's some other Hollywood bullshit. Now here come Van trying to package this shit and feed it to black people like this is what's good for us. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Meanwhile, the BLM queer Marxist agenda, BLM on their website a while back, because they not even a thing really fucking no more right now. BLM wanted to destroy the nuclear family. I'm not down with that fucking shit. I'm not obligated to do that because I'm black. That's like saying I'm obligated to fucking play basketball because I'm black. I enjoy basketball. Shouts to Kobe. 8/24 was Kobe Day, right? All 100%. But I'm not trying to fucking get into the fucking league because I'm black. I know some white can dance. They can't just not dance because they fucking white. Miss me with that dumb shit.
Important to you? Is it important to you that a young man knows how to protect the people in his society or community that are not protected? Does that even matter to you?
I wish, is there any gay people in the chat? Gay people in the chat. Do you feel unprotected? Please, if you want to come out and identify yourself as gay, you don't have to, right? My fucking gay homies, dig this. Do you feel not protected? I feel like motherfuckers is super comfortable. They the mafia. You don't say the wrong thing. Not protected. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Because if it matters to you, then you'll be gleeful and happy to take that question on and make another good person.
I'm not gleeful because it don't matter to me, because I don't feel like it should matter to talk about fucking sex with children. Let's understand. Let's go all the way back. This is a conversation about having a conversation about sexual orientation with Snoop's grandchild. That would be like, let's go to the movies to see whatever movie this was, this Pixar movie. So that's like 9-10 years old. No, I'm not happy to have a conversation about sex with children of any kind.
So whenever you make the decision to bitch about shit like this, you're making the decision to undergird the status quo, and I don't fuck with it. I think it's lazy. I think it's ridiculous, and it's not just in the situation of Snoop. I think everybody who asks lazy, homophobic, idiotic questions like this, that you fall into the same fucking
You
trough.
said the word. It's homophobic. That's what it is. It is a homophobic thought. It is a homophobic comment that was made. And everything that you said is true and it's right. Because it's not that he's going to answer the questions about a woman or about money or about rapping because he's thought about it. It's that it's not just that he's thought about it. He's comfortable with those things. He likes those things. The reason he didn't want to talk about these things is because they make him uncomfortable. He has some sort of issue with it, which makes these comments homophobic. That's what it is.
Bitch, please. Get the fuck out of my face. See, now I'm again, what Van told me was the reason why they won't have me on this show is because Rachel said she don't want to have a conversation with me. Okay? Rachel. So I can't chop it up in a civil, respectful manner with my homie, who I still consider a homie. He may not consider me a homie, right? Bookworm says, you never getting on that show now. Fuck that show. Look, I don't need any show. And I'm not saying you saying that, Bookworm, you know what I mean? But let me be very clear. I will ride with y'all for the next 2 to 5 years with my little 2, 3, 4, 500 of y'all per day. Less is more. And there's plenty of us solutionaries. I would rather be loved and respected and appreciated by y'all. However many people show up to the show every day, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and not talk this fake shit with these people. And listen, they scared to have me on. And the reason I take their fear as a sign of respect. You know you're not going to be able to say that bullshit to me and run circles around me. I'm going to chop you the fuck up. So because of that, they go, do not have Maj on. That's smart. I ain't mad at it. You better not, because y'all better keep being cowards. Breakfast Club, keep being cowards. Higher Learning, keep being cowards. Hot 97, Ebro, all of you, because y'all platforms is falling, but the people don't want that shit. That's the reason why Disney stock is tanking. The box office done spoke already. This movie did horribly. It did, and we're gonna go. I got notes. This shit already tanked in the motherfucker. Come on, bro. That shit was trash. Disney stock been down since 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Pimple Toad Yeti says, yo, Miles, let me get that solutionary what for 15? I'm poor. Solutionary what? T-shirt? Y'all, listen, I would rather ride with y'all and build something great with y'all and start from this little screen that y'all got right here and keep building what we building together. Y'all join up. I get mad at y'all at times because I feel like everybody could pitch in. Because think about it. If it's a few hundred people on here right now, and if everybody that's on here, say it's 200 people. If 200 people gave $10, how much is that? Okay? My point in saying this is this. I'm not mad at y'all or mad at anybody for having to work hard. I work hard and I express myself and express my truth. And I got the same internet that they got. So fuck they show. But I'm just telling you, now when y'all I don't have a more solid relationship with y'all. Now, y'all don't fuck with me. Cool. I get to express my truth when you saying some dumb shit. So the reason why I'm not on the show is because Van told me this herself. Because Rachel didn't want to have me on the fucking show. So when Rachel jumps out after Van and says some stupid shit, maybe that's why her husband left her. And maybe that's why she got to pay alimony to her fucking husband because he saw how stupid she was. And now he like, I got to get paid for the time that I spent with your dumb ass. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not saying that is what it is. I'm saying maybe. Maybe. But if Rachel is jumping out here now talking about it's homophobic because her grandfather, Snoop is a granddad. Snoop is not 19-year-old, first album, 60s Crip Snoop Dogg. At all. And as a granddad, you evaluate. Eminem not making music right now that's talking about killing his mom and killing his baby mom. He's not doing that. Haley's in college. Haley's about to graduate from college. Okay? Eminem not talking about taking pain prescription pills. He's talking about being, now I don't agree with Eminem politically, but he's talking about being sober and you change, you grow. Okay? And I know they're trying to go, okay, Snoop, you talk about this, you like girls. Snoop may not be the best role model for back in the day, or even if he ain't now. But what I'm talking about is Snoop's been married for over 30 years. But now his position on this is questionable. When he was disrespectful to Donald Trump, he could do no wrong. But now that he evaluated, he goes to the crypto ball. Now Snoop is fair game to talk about. Now, to throw Snoop under the bus, we say shit like, it's your responsibility as black men to talk to young kids about sexual orientation. Get the fuck out my face. And she talking about is homophobic because he like, yo, I don't want to talk about this with my grandchild while we in the movie theater. That's not homophobic. So they try to label you and ad hominem attack you with some bullshit. Withstand. And I'm not talking about the extreme withstand of like just saying racist shit. Because I see some of the white followers do that. Or since they're going to call me racist anyway, I might as well be racist. No, you fucking moron. You can say, I don't think that it's appropriate to have sexual conversations of any nature with a child that's not mine, that's a fucking adolescent, 9, 10-year-old. That's for the parents when the parents decide and they sit down and have that holistic conversation with their children. That's not homophobic. And Snoop, because he didn't articulate it all that way and saying, damn, I just came to watch the movie. Now you calling him homophobic. Now you labeling him. Now you're ironically trying to marginalize him. Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel. Let's play some more. Let's see if she gets smarter as the remainder and 1 minute and 20 seconds continue.
It is. You have to call it like it is. And so for that, because it's that, it goes beyond disappointing. Because here's the thing. Let's just say I don't know with certainty, but I'm pretty sure his grandchild has watched The Lion King. That means that if you watch that movie, or for any parent whose kid watched this movie and maybe they had a problem with it and they watched something like The Lion King, that means that you deal with death in a very tragic way.
Here we go.
Your child is most likely going to ask you about death. It's probably the first time they're going to see it, maybe. It's traumatic. It's gut.
This glowworm chick is about to try to equate. You see how they doing these motherfuckers, their reach is insane. I hope they didn't hurt themselves with this level of reach. She's about to equate. In The Lion King, you had conversations about death. Talk to children about homosexuality. And maybe she's gonna go, please, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, whichever, all of y'all. Please tell me that's not the direction that she's about to go, but let's see.
Wrenching, and you have to explain death to a child. There are other themes within that movie. There's birth in that movie. You have to maybe explain that. There's jealousy. There's resentment. You see brothers that don't get along. There are all these questions that arise from a movie, and I have yet to really hear somebody complain about a movie like that. But all of a sudden, when it deals with same sex or being anything a part of the queer community, it's a problem that you don't want to ask questions about when there are a lot of themes that bring questions up for children in these animated movies. So when you scrap all of that away, it's homophobic.
On the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher,
these people are stupid in this conversation. This is a dumbass take. Dumb. Now, I'm specifically not going to tag Van because I don't need to. This is a dumb ass take from both of them. No one should be having conversations about sexual shit with children, especially that aren't their own children. Full fucking stop. Full fucking stop. But even outside of that, the market will provide. Let's be very clear. Less than 1% of the American population is trans. And I'm only going into trans because she brought up the queer thing. I didn't watch this whole thing, and I didn't think I was going to have to go into the trans thing, or the trans conversation. But she brought up queer, and see how it slide? It go from being able to talk to the young people about anything, then it goes into the queer conversation. She slid all of that shit in there. Hey, Rachel, the reach was stupid. Your take was stupid. And stop trying to equate straight men of any background, but y'all gonna isolate it to black people. Stop trying to equate that shit like that's our thing that we gotta pick up as our mantle. That shit was not fucking put together. It wasn't even here since the civil rights movement, and to that extent, stop that shit. That's not my fight. And nobody's going to make me walk into a fight. I don't even walk into gunfights, and I like shooting. Y'all not going to make me go into a fight that's not my fight. But even outside of that, let's go to what has actually happened. The free market has decided. This movie came out a few years ago. Let's read 2021. Disney stock peaked in early 2021 at $201.91, driven by optimism around Disney Plus. Keep that in mind. Streaming growth and recovery expectations post-COVID-19 restrictions. However, it began declining later in 2021 due to concerns over streaming competition and theme park recovery challenges. 2022, the stock saw a significant drop, losing about 43% of its value. 43% of its value, marking Disney's worst year since 1974. This was due to uncertainties in management, political controversies, and a broader market downturn. We're going to come back to that too. 2023, a slight recovery occurred, with the stock price rising to an average of 96.65, supported by improving theme park revenues and streaming subscriber growth. 2024 stock continued to recover, averaging 113.43, buoyed by strong earnings and strategic moves like the integration of Hulu into Disney and ESPN streaming platform launch. What this is not telling you, right? What these little articles are not telling you, and I'll go into it, it mentioned it lightly. These motherfuckers got massive backlash because that Hulu Plus shit and the streaming shit, along with this movie, started going heavy in the LGBTQ plus, blah, 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 whatever lettuce conversation. And the general public said, no, thank you. Their 2024 stock price, averaging 113, is almost half, cut by half, of what it was experiencing in 2020 and 2021 before they started the fake woke shit. And I say fake woke because it's not really woke. When they started pushing this LGBTQ plus, let's get Biden to quit plus Kamala energy, the market said, fuck no. This movie that Snoop is critiquing, that they trying to give him a hard time about, that movie came out years ago. This was around that same time when the stock market, because people was like, I'm getting rid of Disney. I'm getting rid of Disney Plus. This is too much. And then all of the fucking superhero movies and the spinoffs had bullshit fucking, they mixed all of that shit. And then the market of all backgrounds, of all racial backgrounds, of all demographics was like, no, we don't want this shit. This is the same thing that just happened to fucking Cracker Barrel. This fake Northeastern glasses wearing fake liberal motherfucking CEO said, I'm gonna try to redo the whole fucking thing. And not Trump today talking about fucking Cracker Barrel did it. The actual people said, fuck out of here. No. Cracker Barrel's stock price dropped dramatically within a week. The market provided. Well, let's read a little bit more. Let's read a little bit more. Political and cultural controversies. Disney faced backlash over its response to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, leading to a public feud with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This resulted in the dissolution of Disney's special tax status for Walt Disney World's Reedy Creek Improvement District, raising concerns about potential financial and operational impacts. The people in Florida, where Disney is at, was like, no, we not down with this shit. The market said what it said. No, and DeSantis said the people of Florida not with that shit. My base, I know what they like and don't like. Cool, we off that. 6, weak box office performance. Disney's film division struggled with underperforming theatrical releases in 2022. Several high-budget films failed to meet box office expectations as audiences had not fully returned to theaters post-COVID, and the shift to streaming releases impacted revenue. No, because you would have seen more, because you wouldn't have had to have them go into the movie theater. You got a digital product that you would have seen an increase in streaming. But why you didn't see an increase in streaming? Because more people was like, absolutely not Disney Plus, because that's their streaming service. The people chose. So when we go back to Van and them talking about, oh yeah, it was this and it was that and it was this.
He had this to say about the first few months of Trump.
That's not what it was. It was the people said, we don't want this shit. We tired. We just want to see a good movie. You know, one of the best movies that I saw in the last few years? That was just a fucking solid movie, man. The Top Gun remake. And I was scared. I was like, don't fuck up Top Gun. Come on, Goose. Right? I ain't want to fuck Top Gun up. Top Gun, the remake, the new one, Maverick. That shit was a solid movie that was about the subject matter. Just tell me the story about the story. Don't add your bullshit in here. Don't add your bullshit in here. We didn't ask you for your bullshit. Just tell me the story about the evil. We got to get our guys out of the thing, and we need Tom Cruise to come through and give me some tie it into the original and write the fucking movie right. That's all. Slavery movies from back in the 80s don't have as much fake woke bullshit in it as these new movies do. Just tell me the fucking story. And the general public are getting older and they spending money and they going like, oh, nope, not interested. How many times, and this is not, my gay friends tell me this shit. They're like, bro, I'm gay. I don't need everything in a fucking movie to be. How many times just you watching a movie, you into it, you into this shit, and boom, randomly, don't have shit to do with the storyline, gay. Or take it off a homosexual for a second. How many times you watch a movie and boom, got nothing to do with the storyline, but for some reason they got to do an obligatory sex scene. Why? How does this move the fucking movie, the storyline ahead? It doesn't. I get tired of that. Like, I don't like singing too much in fucking movies. I just watched the movie Sinners, right? That whole like thing where they was doing like a montage of music and it was supposed to pay homage to all of the different music. I could do without this shit. Get that fucking shit out of here. Don't bring too much singing and songs and fucking get out of here. It doesn't move the storyline. I don't like songs in a movie that is not tied to the storyline. I'm a movie buff. You start giving me too much love scene, too much of a shootout. You know why the movie Heat is a perfect movie to me? Because it had a solid shootout scene. We don't need 10 shootout scenes. Just give me the one shootout scene from Heat. Just give me the one fucking thing. Just give me the one shootout scene. And it's arguably one of the best shootout scenes in cinematic history. Rest in peace to Val Kilmer. Okay? Heat is a love movie. It's a love story. It deals with loss. It deals with pain. It deals with choice. It deals with discipline. It's a solid fucking story. Mo Fly says, he disagrees. Sammy's Blues song was dope. It's too much singing. But my point here is, no, it's not what they talking about. And the ultimate decision and the deciding factor will be the people, the market. The market. Liberalism, so-called liberalism, you lost at the fucking box office. You lost. And own your loss. You fucking lost. When y'all was winning, and you still will win. You'll make a hope. What the fuck, Vin Zinger? Vin Zinger, y'all look at this shit. Look at this shit Vin Zinger just said. Look at this shit Vin Zinger just said. Vin Zinger, what the fuck are you talking about? Vin Zinger, are you trolling us right now, bro? What's wrong with you? You don't like Heat. What's wrong with you? Braveheart was a masterpiece. Prestige. The Prestige was a masterpiece. What makes the final decision is the box office. And y'all remember in the beginning of this video, he said, this is what I was trying to tell y'all, all to go to the movie theater to support this movie because, no, we tired of it. Libertarian values. I'm a libertarian. Children cannot consent. Having a conversation with a child about anything sexual, children can't consent. It's fucking weird. It's even creepier. And you run the risk of getting your snot box bust if you're saying it to other people's children. And every black, since we isolating it to black for this conversation, every fucking black family knows that. Like, this isn't rocket science. Okay? Gee, I'm mad. I'm mad that we had to have this conversation tonight. Gladiator was legendary. Gladiator 2 was trash. Sorry, they should have never made Gladiator 2. Sorry, it's the worst. It's the worst. Coming to America 2 should have never been fucking made, ever. Period. I'm a little upset that we have to have this conversation, though, y'all. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. The fact that they have this platform and they scared to have me on, but I understand why. They scared to have me on because of the fact that I would absolutely fucking destroy this argument. I understand why. Your corporate overlords that pay for the nice little backdrop and this lighting and all of that. Y'all would lose sponsors fucking with me. I would show you how non-pro-black you are because they target black people. They say they pro-black. I would showcase how what they're talking about is actually detrimental for the black community. So some of their more intelligent followers would stop watching their shit. So I get it. But I'm a little upset that it's irresponsible in my opinion. So I'm not going to attack. I'm not going to make fun of Rachel's stupid fucking perspective. I'm not going to make fun of it. I'm going to just call it a stupid perspective. But I leave y'all with this. If you guys do not network and work together in communities of people that share like minds, because I haven't had anybody say they pretty much disagree with me this entire time tonight. Okay? This is what our private community in the Solutionary University is about. We have to share movies. My children watch The Golden Girls, The Cosby Show, Family Matters. We got DVD player on the RV. Okay? Bob the Builder. As they grow, I'm going to find out something great for every single angle, for every age that I can share with my babies. Okay? You have to have a community of people like the fucking Amish, the Quakers. I'm not talking about the potential for them. I heard rumors about them, but y'all know what I mean. They got a dialed-in community of people that's on the same page. We have to recreate that because this propaganda and how they tried to maneuver this in language and all of that and convince people subtly, that's everywhere. You have to combat that by having a solid community of people that can support you in those times. Some of y'all going to be in cities that's super liberal. You need to have people you can toss ideas around with. You need to know about growing food. You need to know about welding. You need to know about this. You need to know about that. Our community has that, and with thousands of us all across the country. When you go to a different town, you need to get in the Solutionary group and be like, yo, who in Baltimore? Yo, that's why part of the reason why I tell y'all in every beginning of every show, yo, where you from? Tell me where you from. Every single person that's watching this should be in the Solutionary community. My nana used to say, respect the devil. You smart, but that energy is ancient. It's older than you. This leftist media propaganda blitz, its infrastructure is strong. You need to have a network of people that you can work together with, talk with, toss ideas around with. Do not go at this alone. Do not do it. This is why I'm badgering y'all about fundraising. If you got $100, donate $100 and to help the work keep going, and you get access to this community. Meal plans, workout routines, shooting drills, classes, curriculums, a transformative, empowering community of information and people that are like minds. We are outnumbered, y'all. At least we're outnumbered in the form of being scattered. You'd be surprised how many people think like you, but they just need some of us to like, oh, that's what you want? Oh, word, me too. Network. We got to turn social media back into social networking. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do, as I asked at the end of every show, one, I'm going to ask you guys to share the space all over the place. You're watching on X, hit the repost button. I can see who hits the repost button. I know y'all love hearing me talk, but hit the repost button. Cost you nothing. If you're watching this on YouTube, copy the link, put it on your Facebook page, put it on your X page, put it on Rumble, put it on wherever. Okay? That's the first thing I'm going to ask everybody to do. Lastly, I'm going to ask everybody to support the work. GiveSend, it's right on the screen. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary. Let's get 10 people to give at the $100 level so I can make sure that you get access to Solutionary University. I want you in this community. We are going to lose if we do not network. That's just what it is. They could isolate me and not have me on their fucking program. Okay, it's theirs. I ain't tripping. But if I didn't have the capability to jump on this every day, Monday through Friday, and create that, because they could clip this. This YouTube. They can't clip our private Telegram group. They can't clip our email list. They can't clip our newsletter because it's ours. They can't clip our website. We got our own server. We have to make a network. They can isolate us and stifle us. We have to be smarter and sharper than that, y'all. Very, very important. Two things. Share it all over the place. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Support the work. If you can't give it the $100 level, I want everybody to give $10. If it's 245 of y'all, fuck that. Everybody give $20. 250 of y'all watching. Everybody give $20. If you can give 100, give. But if you can't, you can't. We cannot just keep talking about what the system is and not empowering ourselves with the people that's doing the work to fight against that system and creating a network of and things. The Solutionary Center is y'all building. Anybody listening to this, when we buy this building, you can come teach a class or learn in a class for free at that building. That's what this last $56,000 is for. So I'm going to ask everybody to support like our lives depended on it, because we need some places. We need a safe space. Fuck what we take their turn back. We need a safe space. Okay? Sky with the repost. Appreciate you, Sky. On X. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Thank you all for tapping in. My name is Maj Toure. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. YouTube.com/Maj Toure. See y'all all then. Be safe. Be solutionary.